prospering country has measured indicators to its economic development, including the quality of demographics of its population. One of the enablers of a country's development is the education sector. And education provides numerous opportunities of knowledge and skills to the population. It is for this reason that Sustainable Development Goal 4 aims to ensure an inclusive and quality education for the promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all. Yet, this may not be achieved due to the challenges of teacher absenteeism, ineffective teaching, poor ethical conduct and lack of guidelines on teacher qualifications and standards that affect most sub-Saharan countries.
There are currently about 367,000 teachers.
So we need quality teachers for delivery of quality education.
Uganda has been recognized among countries with one of the best education systems in East Africa. The demand for more education services in the country has pushed for the need of more teachers and trainers at various learning institutions. However, the quality of education of any country depends on the quality of training and motivation of its teachers. This, therefore, necessitated the development of the National Teacher Policy to guide the professionalization and standardization of the teaching profession in Uganda as a framework to an equitable and quality education for all. The development of the National Teacher Policy Framework followed a consultative process between the Ministry of Education and Sports and other education stakeholders with financial and technical support from the UNESCO Capacity Development for Education Program and the UNESCO International Institute for Capacity Building for Africa.
Now that means we can get this.
So I became a teacher because when I got the inspiration of teaching mathematics, I started teaching my own colleagues. Then later at the end of the day, they told me you would be a good teacher. And then later, I had to pursue a teaching course.
I'm a graduate tutor. I teach at Shimoni Koa Primary Teachers College. I have an experience of 11 years in teaching. I first began with a grade 3, as these ones. Then I kept on upgrading because I saw this certificate was not enough. So I did diploma still. By that time I was teaching in primary. Then after diploma, I realized I can be a teacher of teachers.
The teaching profession has not had proper guidance in terms of legal framework. It is a profession where you find the private actors or investors have their own way of recruiting, and they recruit those who are qualified and those who are not qualified, and the teachers who are employed there are being paid depending on how they came. So it is full of messes.
The National Teacher Policy clarifies the roles and responsibilities of the Ministry of Education and Sports and other education stakeholders. The implementation of this policy provides for the establishment of the National Teachers Council, the Uganda National Institute of Teacher Education, including the development and implementation of standards for teaching, which will promote professionalism, accountability, and innovation in the teaching profession.
No education system is better than the quality of its teachers. So the issue of the quality of teachers was at the center.
Its history begins from the diagnostic study of the teacher on the teacher issues. So the teacher study itself was the initial stage, and that is exactly what now the recommendation is that caused that there is need to develop the teacher policy.
It discovered the issues of teacher quality, teacher quantity, teacher management, and teacher development. And one of its key recommendations was the development of a harmonized teacher framework.
The teacher policy was needed yesterday, and I was surprised that it had overwhelming support from the members of the teaching profession.
The fact that Uganda's education system is liberalized. When you liberalize more or less, you loosen control and you cannot leave the private sector to do as they wish. So you have to have regulations and guidance.
The National Teacher Policy serves as an overarch of frameworks that advance teacher professionalism, management and development of the education sector in Uganda through the promotion of standardized teaching practices and the retention of a highly motivated and professional teaching force in Uganda.
Our education system is very attractive in the region. Our teachers, our system is the best, but it has many challenges which we think this teacher policy will solve in greater detail and again put the pride of the teaching profession but also the quality of education, general education system back to the top.